not-for-profit organization. I do a whole lot of everything, mostly things that I never studied to do here at Dickinson or in graduate school, things that I don't necessarily care to do. So, you know, I do human resources, and I do IT stuff, and I do space, and accounting, and I do the accreditation, and I wheel and deal with federal agencies to support accreditation and lab and market accreditation. And I'm saying that because I'm sure we're going to talk about this, but I'm always making the plug. This is the value of a liberal arts education. Who would have ever thought, you know, that you could do some of the kinds of things that I do? I don't spend any of my time being a scientist anymore, although to have credibility with the people that I work with, the scientific background is important.
Yeah, my title is Senior Engineering Geologist, and I've had the word engineering in my job title for a couple of decades, and I never took any engineering classes. You just take the title that they give you. I'm with the State Water Resources Control Board. Is one of 5 agencies under the umbrella of the California Environmental Protection Agency. And I work in the office in Oakland that is responsible for the San Francisco Bay Area, and we focus on primarily water quality issues. I coordinate the work of 4 to 5 scientists and engineers who oversee cleanup of mainly industrial properties where there's contaminated groundwater. And to a large extent, this facilitates brownfield redevelopment and promotes the redevelopment of unused land in the San Francisco area.
Thinking of a liberal arts education, came in with the idea of one career and found out that I absolutely love the lab. I can't exactly tell you what we did. I can't exactly describe what those NMR sequences were, but I just saw the excitement that every time I would bring a trace to Mike, he would, you know, his eyes would light up and the data was there. And it just really made me question, or not even question, but wonder, is there a way that I can be a scientist and yet still be a physician? And having not come from a family of physicians, I spoke to some people. I was doing a hospital rotation in Carlisle, spoke to one of the physicians at the hospital there, spoke to Molly and Wayne Borges, who are important people we met in the community here, and just told them about my quandary of trying to decide, should I be a scientist, should I be a doctor, can I do both? And they said, you can be both. We know of people who do both. In fact, there are academic programs that encourage people to be physician scientists. And I think that having come to a liberal arts college where I was able to work one-on-one in a lab with a researcher instead of being in a huge 200-hall lecture where I don't know that I would ever have had that opportunity to do research, really had a huge impact on my career. So in terms of my decision to choose pediatrics, that was something that had been there for a long time, but the ability to pair that with being a scientist was, I think, really critical by my experience here at Dickinson.
Basically, I'm teaching classes, which involves a whole host of things, and grading, and all those things that sort of really get us to know the students, you know, very closely. We're in the lab teaching with students in the teaching lab, but then also I run a research lab and have students working with me in the lab. That means I'm writing grants, not with the pressure of a research university, but writing grants, publishing papers, and it's really interesting because I think that, and this will come up more later, but the liberal arts environment is a really good one that seems to foster people being able to go out and do all these different things that you're hearing about. So again, no typical week, but teaching and doing research sometimes feels a little bit schizophrenic, but in the long run, I think all fits together really well. But it's all really under that umbrella of mentoring and teaching.